So you want to write your acting resume, huh? What's going on, you guys? We are back on the channel. Welcome back. We are on episode 2 of the Acting 101 series. If you haven't seen the first episode going over kind of the very basic steps of how to get into acting, click the link above. Today we are going to be talking about beginner resumes. Now I know it's very easy to have a blank resume, an empty resume, but that's okay because you have to start somewhere. We all started with an empty resume. I don't know why I did that. That's enough. If you guys don't know me, my name is Carlo Fortin, and I am an actor based in Vancouver, Canada. And I'm so lucky because Vancouver happens to be Hollywood North, meaning there's so much filming going on here, from Riverdale to Sabrina to pretty much all the CW superhero shows to multiple movies, Netflix productions, and they even do some voiceover work and stuff like that here. So I'm very lucky, I'm very blessed to be in the place where I am now, which just happens to be perfect for actors like me. Some of the things that I've been able to take part in that was filmed out here are most recently a Hallmark production. That's a TV movie going to be on the Hallmark channel, a Christmas movie. It was kind of cool because we filmed Christmas stuff in like May. Some of the things in the past, I have credits with Arrow and CW. There was a show out here called Ice that lasted for a couple seasons, and that was a direct TV show. There's a new show called The Murders that's on City TV out here in Vancouver, which is kind of cool because it's a crime show based out of Vancouver. We all know Vancouver to be a very chameleon-like city, but it's cool because that show is actually based in Vancouver. They're talking Vancouver streets and Vancouver landmarks, so that's pretty cool. There's also another show coming out a little bit later this year called The In-Between, and that's going to be on NBC. And one of my most recent bookings, and one of the things that I've been very, very excited about to take part in, was a role on Riverdale. It was a super cool scene. If you haven't seen yet, go check it out. The episode is called Chapter 55, Prom Night. It's a nice little scene with Jughead and Betty. If you have Netflix, if you have CW, go check that out. Alright, so like I mentioned off the top of the video, today we are talking about resumes. And I'm sure you already know that because otherwise you probably wouldn't have clicked this thumbnail. Yes or yes? Yes. So today we're just going to be going over basic beginner acting resumes. Now this can go either for film and TV, which is kind of what I'm more focused in, but it could also work for any theater, or if you just want to get started on your commercial acting, this could also work for that as well. So film, TV, theater, commercial acting resume, whatever acting you're trying to do, hopefully this will help you set a basis or a guideline on what your resume should look like. So in a few seconds here, we're going to be jumping behind me. We're going to open up the laptop and dive into Google Docs, and I'll try and guide you as best as I can on the formatting and what you should be putting on your resumes. Now the resume along with your headshot is going to be your passport to any acting job. Now whether that be paid or whether it be a student production or any independent production, this will help you get to the next step. This will get you the audition in the room. This will help the casting directors know exactly who you are, what you can do, what are your abilities, and what you've done in the past. Alright, that's enough chit chat. Let's dive into the laptop and start writing out your resume. This is kind of the first time I've turned around going this way. Took a little bit of messing around with figuring out where to place this camera, but here we are. So let's get started. First off, obviously with any resume, we are going to have your name. This will be the exact template that you'll be using. You can download, it'll be in the link below so that you guys can go ahead and get this formatting started and get your resume started. Now, unlike the typical conventional resumes for a regular job, you won't need to put your address here because this will be, you'll be submitting this to people that you don't really know. These will be people that are not necessarily real productions per se, or if it's a student or whatever. So, I mean, keeping your address off of this resume is probably a good idea. So underneath your first and last name, we are going to put our height. Then typically we want to use the tab button just for a little bit better spacing, or you can just do space or whatever. Then maybe we want to put on our weight. We're going to say 200 pounds. That's so that people can kind of get an idea of how big you are, how small you are. You know, the height is obvious. People can see if you're short, you're tall. Sometimes you get cast depending on your height. I've heard of people not getting the job because they were simply too tall. They were taller than the lead or too short, you know, and the lead and you as the other character wouldn't be able to see eye to eye, that kind of stuff. I've heard of even like big celebrities having to use apple boxes to jump up in height so that they can see eye to eye better with the other character in the scene. Typically next we are going to put our hair color. We are going to put it as black, space. And then our eye color, eyes, brown. Hair and eye color, that's there because, you know, sometimes they do look for specific physical attributes in your face and stuff like that. And if they're trying to match you up with another character that's in the story, you know, it would make sense if I was cast in a show, for example, that my dad or my mom would have black hair and not blonde hair. Now that's where this comes to play, because then they know that you are going to match whatever physical features that they're looking for. So after your physical features, underneath that, this would be a good place to put your contact information so they know how to get back to you, you know, whether it be your email or your phone number. So we are going to put email at emailaddress.com here, space, and then your phone number. So 01234567890, whatever that phone number might be. And then that's it. That's kind of all you need for the header for the resume. Now underneath, then we get into the experience and what you've actually done. So we are going to get off of the center alignment there, and we're going to just do from left to right. We're going to go caps lock, film and television. We'll do all the formatting and stuff like that later. We'll just kind of type this out straight up right now. So if you have any sort of experience with film or TV, that's where you put this. If you don't have any experience, leave that line out. Boom. If you have any commercial experience, you can put that on there. Commercial. And then underneath, then you could list down all of the different commercial experiences that you've had. If you don't have that, leave it out. Then underneath that, you can have your theater experience. So if you have any theater experience, list down all of your theater experiences. Let's go ahead and say we have one film and television experience here. So then we go ahead and write down whatever film and television show that was. So let's go ahead and use my Riverdale example. And then that was episode 320. Now this 320, all it means is season 3, episode 20. Then you go tab, and then somewhere in the middle of the resume, that's where you're gonna put whatever kind of role you got. So whether you be an actor, that's a speaking role, or your principal role, or whatever you might be, that's where you put that. So that was a principal role for me, meaning I had more than 6 or 7 lines, I believe the criteria is. And then you go tab, tab, tab. So basically we want to make 3 different sections, and then this is where you would put the director's name and whatever channel, whatever network it was. So over here we're gonna put the CW, and the director for that particular episode was David Katzenberg. That's it. I mean, that's all I could have for film and television. Let's say, for example, that was my only film and television experience, and that's all I'm going to use. Then down here, let's pretend I have commercial credits, which I don't. I've never particularly booked a commercial, but if you do have any commercial experience, this is then where you would put it. Let's say you booked a commercial for Tide. I don't know. That was kind of the first commercial that came to my head, the first product. And then over here, you would just put actor, tab, tab, and then the director's name. Boom. And then next, down below that, if you have any theater experience, this is again, same thing, just like film and television and commercial, you would list down theater. So let's use one of my theater productions that I've done in the past, which was a street car named Desire. Your role here, let's just put actor, and then director's name. And or the company, theater company X. So after experiences underneath that, we are going to then put down our experiences in any acting classes. So over here we'll go training, we'll underline and bold that a little bit later, and then we'll go say acting class here. Let's say it was an audition centered class. Your teacher's name here, and then over here the third row is whatever acting school that was. And then down here, you kind of just put down any sort of other experience. Let's say we did an improv class here, teacher down in the center, and then improv class down here next to that. So pretty straightforward. You would put down whatever course you've taken, your teacher's name, and then whatever school that you were at. Then after training, now we get into your skills. So then let's go ahead and use skills as a header here. So down here, let's start off with languages. That's always an easy one. Boom. I speak English fluently and Filipino fluently and beginner Spanish, let's say. Boom, easy peasy. Whatever languages that you speak, you can go ahead and list that down on there. Pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy about that. And then you can go down and go enter, and then maybe you want to list down some of the sports that you're really good at. We're gonna go ahead and use basketball as an example. We're gonna list down football as well. Maybe you like doing other weirder sports like ping pong, or maybe you're a really good swimmer, or maybe you like hiking a lot, you know, or you can even just put outdoor enthusiast. Sometimes they look for people that really like hiking. Sometimes they look for people that are good at running. Sometimes they look for people that are good swimmers. They look for people that are good at rowing boats. It could literally be anything. So this is where you get to really take advantage of whatever skills that you already have and put that on your resume, because then you can be easily qualified and be used for whatever production that you are applying for. So after that, then maybe we can get into other things, like maybe you took Taekwondo for X amount of years and you have a, I don't know, green belt. You can put that down. Maybe you're a dancer, you know, and you like hip hop and salsa, for example. You're gonna go ahead and put that down. We're gonna go ahead and put this in brackets and separate it like that. Just like in the first episode, maybe you're good, you can drive stick, drive standard. Boom, that's another easy one. Maybe you really like working out, so maybe we can put here bodybuilding, because sometimes they look for people that are good at lifting stuff. I don't know. So that's pretty much it. You put down all of your experiences. If you don't have any, you can go ahead and list none of them. And maybe you can just start off with your training. Maybe you took some acting lessons in high school. Maybe you took an improv class here and there with your buddy. Maybe you did that church production last year or 2 years ago or 5 years ago. Put that down in your resume, because all of that stuff counts. So whatever skills that you have, whatever things you think you're good at, put them down. So do put down all of your previous experiences, whether that be a theater production, a commercial, or anything for film and TV. Even background you can use as a beginner experience, because in that way people can actually know that you know what it's like to be on set. But don't put down things that you don't actually do. Like if you were to put expert tap dancer and you have no idea how to tap dance, and they ask you at an audition to tap dance and you can't tap dance, you are gonna tap out. Yeah, so definitely do not lie on the resume. If you're good at something, definitely put that down. If you're kind of mediocre at something, if they ask you to do it on the spot and you can do it, then put it down. So now let's go ahead and actually format this thing. So why don't I go ahead and just go use my name. We'll pretend that this is my beginner resume, and we're gonna go ahead and bold this, and maybe we'll use a font size of 14, maybe 16 or 18. So height, weight, hair, eyes, I mean, that can all just be centered there, and you can bold those. You can separate them even more if you'd like. You don't have to. Down here, we'll just go ahead and bold these guys as well. Maybe we will unbold these. And then down here, once you get into the headers, you can go ahead and bold and underline those guys. I like leaving mine capitalized. And that's it, pretty straightforward. Now if you had a beginner resume and you had none of these experiences, boom, you can go ahead and just delete those. Training here, maybe it was just a high school drama class, and you're still gonna have your teacher there, and you were going to put whatever high school you were at here. Oops. Let's say you went to Riverdale High. Perfect. And maybe you don't even have a second line. There are definitely still skills that you can list down. You can list down all the different languages. Maybe down here too, you can list down accents. There's people out there that are really good at accents, so maybe you can do a crazy Italian accent. I can't do it. I won't attempt it because I'll probably suck at it, and you'll just laugh at me. And like, I'll just be like, "It's me, Mario," and you're like, "That's not even Italian, bro." So maybe you're good at Italian accent, maybe you can do a solid Mexican accent because orale, you know, you watch a lot of gangster movies and stuff, you know? Yeah, maybe I can't do that either, but we'll go ahead and just use this as an example. Highlight, bold, accents, boom. And that's it. Literally, this resume is empty. Do not worry about filling up this piece of paper because people get that there are beginner actors out there. Like I said earlier, we all started with an empty resume, so if you have nothing on this, do not even worry about it. List down your skills, and eventually, once you start booking stuff, whether it be student films or any sort of independent films, then you'll be able to build up your resume. Hopefully this helps you out. If you have any questions, again, leave me a comment down in the comment section below. Again, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. If you're a beginner actor, I'll be putting out more and more of these videos, any sort of acting tips, just by sharing some of my different experiences as a beginner actor myself. Hope you like this video. Look out for the next one. Peace.